Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are strapping on our virtual jungle boots. We're heading deep into Central and South America.
Yeah, to meet a really fascinating animal. People sometimes call it the misunderstood honey badger of the jungle. Kind of a catchy title.
It really is. We're talking about the Tayra. And if you get a glimpse, I mean, it looks powerful. Long body, intense stare, this low sort of stalking walk.
It absolutely gives off that Amazonian wolverine vibe. That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so that's the puzzle right there.
Yeah.
Why does an animal that looks like it belongs firmly in the weasel family, usually fierce carnivores, why is it thriving in the jungle?
Right, in the heat and humidity.
Exactly. And its habits seem, well, almost the opposite of what you'd expect from a muscled relative.
That's our mission today, really,
Yeah.
to kind of synthesize what we know about the Tayra.
Yeah.
We're looking at these different sources, trying to figure out the classification debates.
Uh-huh.
It's very unusual diet, which might even be changing, and, what new tech is finally telling us about this creature. Because they are really hard to see.
And here's the kicker right at the start. This muscular, intense-looking animal, it's mostly vegetarian.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a stunning adaptation, a niche it carved out.
Incredible. Okay, let's map them out first. Where do they actually live?
I've got a huge range.
Yeah.
Pretty much all over Latin America, starting from southern Mexico, going way down into northern Argentina.
Wow, that's vast.
It is. They're only really absent from Uruguay and Chile. And their sweet spot is definitely dense forest, tropical, subtropical, wet forests.
Right. In that environment, the forest, that must explain why they look so different from, say, the actual wolverine up north.
Absolutely. That's a key point. The Tayra is maybe only about a third of the weight of a wolverine.
A third? That's a massive difference. So how does being lighter help it in the jungle?
But think about the wolverine's world. Cold, snow, it needs that bulk, that power to dig to survive harsh winters.
Okay.
The Tayra. It's in warm climates. It spends a lot of time up in the trees, semi-arboreal.
Yeah.
So being lighter, more agile is crucial for climbing. It doesn't need that heavy build for snow.
But they're still pretty big, right? I saw figures up to, 110 centimeters long? That includes the tail, of course.
Oh yeah, they're substantial.
Yeah.
Definitely built for power in their own way. Just not brute force on frozen ground. More like climbing power. And that thick tail is a big part of it.
How so? The tail.
Well, it's all about balance. Like a squirrel or a monkey uses its tail when moving through branches. The Tayra uses that heavy tail constantly to counterbalance itself.
And the claws are different, too, you mentioned.
Totally different. Wolverines have these huge, robust claws for digging through earth and snow. Tayras have smaller, really curved claws, purely designed for gripping bark, for climbing.
So it's all geared towards moving vertically.
Exactly. And they can even climb down trees head first. That's a classic sign of a specialized climber, like squirrels again.
Okay, that's impressive. But you mentioned something even more unique about their feet.
Ah, yes. This is fascinating. They have whiskers on the soles of their feet.
Whiskers on their feet.
Yeah, ultra-sensitive sensory hairs. Think about it, the jungle canopy, the forest floor. It's complex terrain, slippery leaves, unstable branches.
Venomous snakes.
Precisely. Those foot whiskers give them constant real-time information about the surface they're stepping on. Is it stable? Is it wet? Is it, something dangerous moving?
Wow, so their feet are constantly reading the environment. It's like a built-in navigation system.
Kind of like that, yeah. A highly specialized sensory map.
Which makes it even stranger then that this powerful specialized climber uses all that mainly to get fruit.
It does seem contradictory, doesn't it? But yeah, despite the build, their primary strength goes into accessing food, not necessarily chasing it down. They're predominantly frugivorous. Fruit and nuts are key.
Often high up in the canopy, right? Hard to reach stuff.
Exactly. Stuff other animals might not bother with or can't get to.
And this brings us to that banana story. I found that just incredible.
Oh, the unripe banana thing. It's amazing. There are reports, pretty reliable ones from plantations, that Tayras will actually take unripe bananas, carry them off, and hide them. Cache them for a few days until they ripen.
Wait, they plan ahead like that. They understand ripening. That implies some serious thinking. Delayed gratification.
It really does. It suggests foresight, planning, cognitive skills maybe we wouldn't immediately expect, like their own little fruit pantry they manage.
That changes things. But, okay, they are still mustelids. They don't only eat fruit, do they?
No, definitely not strict herbivores. They're opportunistic hunters. Very much so.
So if an easy meal comes along,
They'll take it, absolutely. A bird's nest with eggs or chicks, maybe a small rodent, perhaps even a young monkey if they can snatch one easily.
but they're not Like pack hunters chasing down big prey.
No, not at all. They aren't built for that kind of sustained chase. Think bush dog style, hunting a tapir that's not the Tayra. Their hunting seems secondary, seizing opportunities rather than active pursuit being the main strategy.
And this fruit-focused diet really makes them stand out, doesn't it? Compared to other mustelids in the same areas.
Hugely. If you look at their cousins in South America, giant otters tackling caiman, neotropical otters focused on fish, greater grissons hunting rodents and lizards. They're all pretty strict carnivores.
Right.
The Tayra seems to have found this unique path. Mostly fruit, sometimes kill. It avoids competing directly with those other hardcore carnivores for the most part.
A clever niche. But that specialization, combined with them being so hard to see, that causes problems for scientists, right? Like just figuring out what they are.
Exactly. They're solitary, they're shy, they blend into the shadows and foliage incredibly well. People can live their whole lives in Tayra habitat and never knowingly see one.
Wow.
And that elusiveness, it's led to big debates in classification. At one point, there were something like 16 proposed subspecies.
16?
Yeah. Now, maybe only 7 are generally accepted, and even then, scientists argue, are the physical differences between populations in, say, Mexico and Argentina really enough to call them distinct subspecies, or is it just variation?
And the confusion goes deeper, into their actual family tree.
It does. There's genetic work suggesting they might be, surprisingly, more closely related to the fisher, that North American mustelid, than to the wolverine.
The fisher. Okay, that's interesting because fishers are also climbers, right? Similar size, too.
Yes, exactly. Both are arboreal, similar bold. It makes the genetic link seem plausible. They share a lifestyle.
But could that just be convergent evolution? You know, similar lifestyles leading to similar bodies, even if they aren't that closely related genetically.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are they close relatives, or did they just arrive at similar solutions independently?
What's the main difference in how they live, tayras and fishers?
The big one is timing. Fishers are mostly nocturnal hunters, active at night. Tayras are primarily diurnal, active during the day.
Which makes sense if you're looking for colorful, ripe fruit. You need daylight.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It fits the fruit-eating profile.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting now. There's new evidence popping up suggesting maybe tayras are, well, more into meat than we thought.
This is the current edge of the research, yeah. We're seeing hints of more predatory behavior.
Like what?
Well, for one, observations suggest red howler monkeys seem genuinely scared of them. They actively try to avoid areas where tayras are present. That implies a real threat, likely to their young.
Okay. More than just random chance encounters.
And the really big one, recent camera trap footage has confirmed tayras preying on brocket deer.
Brocket deer, those aren't tiny. That's a significant kill for an animal we thought mostly ate bananas.
It is. It's making researchers pause and think, is this just a rare, opportunistic thing we happen to catch on camera? Or does it happen more regularly?
So are they shifting towards being more omnivorous, like fishers or wolverines? Or have they always done this and we just never saw it properly before?
That's the core debate right now. Is their behavior evolving, maybe because of changes in food availability or habitat? Or is it simply that our tools, especially crab cameras, are finally letting us see what these incredibly secretive animals actually do when we're not around?
It highlights how hard they are to study. Solitary, camouflaged. I read the young are called little monkey cats.
Yeah, apparently some researchers use that term. They're raised just by the mother, become independent around 10 months old, very elusive right from the start.
So trap cams are the breakthrough technology here.
Without a doubt. They're non-invasive. They can be left out for long periods. They're giving us glimpses into Tayra life we just couldn't get before.
There was that anecdote about the research team in Colombia, right? Up in the highlands near a volcano.
Oh, yeah. In Caldas,
Yeah.
Owl's Watch Reserve, near Nevado del Ruiz. High altitude, tricky terrain. They were determined to study them there.
And they had a clever plan, didn't they? Using the tayras' known habits.
They did. Knowing tayras love fruit and maybe aren't shy about investigating unusual things if there's a potential meal, they set up fake garbage cans.
Fake garbage cans.
Yeah, baited with bananas, fruits, basically trying to lure them in with the promise of an easy feast. And they placed trap cams all around these bait stations and in the trees nearby.
Smart. Did it work? Did they actually see one?
Well, the frustrating part. At their main bait site, after all that effort, nope. They never got an in-person sighting there. The Tayra proved too elusive.
Yeah, typical.
But
Yeah.
persistence paid off.
Hmm.
A trap cam set up at a different location within the reserve did eventually capture one on video.
Phew. So they got confirmation.
They did. But it perfectly illustrates the challenge. Even when you think you know where they are and what they like, seeing them is incredibly difficult.
So summing it all up, the Tayra is this amazing bundle of contradictions. Looks fierce, acts like a wolverine, climbs like a monkey.
Eats like a vegetarian mostly.
Right, but maybe, just maybe, it's leaning back into its carnivorous side. Or perhaps we're just finally seeing the whole picture.
I think the key thing for you, the listener, to take away is that the tire is still kind of defining itself, or at least our understanding of its niche is still evolving. It's this fruit eater, this sometimes killer, this master of the trees. And we definitely need more research using these new tools to really grasp its role.
Definitely. And here's something to chew on. Thinking about those specialized foot whiskers, how they navigate by feeling the ground and canopy. What happens to an animal like that when forests get broken up?
Fragmentation. Yeah.
When that continuous canopy or forest floor they rely on gets chopped into pieces? How does that impact a creature so tuned into that connected environment? That's something to really mull over.
It's a critical question for their future, absolutely. A question of resilience.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the amazing, elusive Tayra. Hope you found it as fascinating as we did.